Hey, everybody. Welcome
Hey,
back to another
y'all.
fantastic edition of the His and Her Money Show. I'm Talent.
And I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're teaching you how to have better money
Become a better couple.
and live a better life.
And we are all about that. As we mentioned, we are here to help you have a better life. And that is still ongoing. Listen, 2020 ain't over. 2020 is not done. We're not throwing in the towel on 2020. We
Absolutely.
still are going to make it happen in this last quarter of 2020. And to help us with that discussion, to help us with a blueprint, a game plan, a strategy to end this year strong, we got one of our favorite people on planet Earth, right? Earth, E-A-R-F. We got one of our favorite people on planet Earth to help us with this discussion. We've got none other than the one, the only, Dr. Lynn Richardson. Hey, Dr. Lynn, welcome back to the show.
You're doing better than me because I was going to spell it Earth. U-R-F. Earth. That's it.
Hilarious. Welcome back to the His and Her Money Show. You are a regular contributor here on our platform. Everyone loves you. So just say hi to everybody. Welcome back. And you all welcome Lynn back in the comment section.
Everybody shout out Dr. Lynn real quick. Now, some people, they might be tuned in. You've been on our show a couple of times, but some people are rocking with His and Her Money for the first time, day one, right here, right now. So for those who are brand new to us, to you, let them know who you are and what you're all about.
So very quickly, I'm going to give you my backstory that explains how I got here. I think when people hear my story, they understand that really we are all the same. I am no different than anybody else. I was born and raised in Chicago. My grandmother raised me in the projects on the south and the west side. People say which side? Both, the south and the west side. So I'm a little country, a little bougie, got a little bit of it all mixed up in this crazy. But I grew up in the projects. I knew we were not rich, but I didn't feel poor. When I'd ask my grandmother for money for something, she'd tell me to go look in the room on top of the shelf, behind the box, inside my pocketbook, inside the zipper, wrapped up in a piece of paper towel, was $20. And so I got off to college, and you know how big mamas raise their grandchildren. Go to school, get a good education, get a good job, go to church on Sunday, wear clean underwear in case you get hit by a bus. So I learned all those things, but I didn't know about money. I got off to college the very first week. I went to the room, the room. They need to call it the upper room because death is happening around there. I went into the room. I didn't get one credit card. I didn't get two credit cards. I got one of each. And I was at a prestigious university on full scholarship, so I didn't have any money. And so when the creditors would say, Lynn, can you borrow the money? I'd say, can I borrow it from you? I had all kind of quick, fast, funny answers. Always had to gift for gab. But when I got out into the real world, it was no longer funny. My credit was jacked up. I had to get my furniture from Rent-A-Center. And then fast forward, I get married. I have a child. We've got a big house in the suburbs. And I'm helping people. I helped a lady with four bankruptcies and 2 foreclosures overcome her credit issues. She got into a house with a very low interest rate, low down payment. I became somewhat of a local celebrity in Chicago, in the Midwest, and then ultimately in the nation, in the mortgage and real estate industries. I wrote books. I provided trainings for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and companies like Genworth Financial. And I was living what people thought was the life, but I was living the life without the F. I was living a lie. You see, I was living check to Monday. Check to check means you get paid on Friday and by the next payday you're broke. But check to Monday is a whole entirely different game. You get paid on Friday, you kick it on the weekend, you pay on your past 2 bills, and by Monday you're broke. And I was living that lifestyle, making $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a month, not a year, a month. No matter how much money I made, I always found a way to be broke. So I spend my life now helping people understand this. More money doesn't solve a money problem. If it did, millionaires wouldn't go bankrupt. If more money could solve a money problem, you'd never have a bankrupt millionaire. You'd never have a bankrupt billionaire. So now fast forward, I've run companies for people like Russell Simmons. I still run several companies for MC Light. I manage Lil Mama. I've helped many celebrities and entertainers not only get their businesses in order, but to get their finances in order. And I've just come back to my roots within the past couple of years, helping everyday people, single moms, single dads, stay-at-home moms, working parents, entrepreneurs, executives. I know people with multi-million-dollar businesses who do not understand the money game. So I teach the money game, and it's simply this. First, you have to spend less money. Everybody knows that. All of the financial experts say that. Next, you have to get more money. through multiple streams of income. And I certainly teach that. One stream of income is hazardous to your wealth. Everybody needs a home-based business. And the third thing that everyone must do, I think that I bring a little twist to the table, is you must learn how to get your money back. What do I mean? If you went to the grocery store, bought $300 worth of groceries, and you came home and ate all your food, and the grocery store manager said, come back next week and get your money, you'd stop, drop, and roll. We all would, and you'd be very happy. Well, that's what the IRS says. The IRS says when you have a business, any kind of business, it doesn't have to be a big corporation or something you see on television or in the Wall Street Journal. It can be your cooking business, your babysitting business, your Uber driving, your Mary Kay business. If you have a business, then when you start to do things like eat, that meal can be for business. Drive your car, you can get a write-off. Use your cell phone for business, that's a write-off. So the IRS says that 400 plus times that when you actually run your business like a business with the intent of having a profit, then they will reward you with tax deductions, just like Mitt Romney and Warren Buffett and many of the wealthy people. In fact, that's how they stay rich. So that really is the over-encompassing story of who I am. I am a wife. I am a minister, I am a mother, and I guess I'm the auntie at this point to millions of people across the globe, from Panama to Saudi Arabia to Australia, who are aiming to get their finances in order. And so I'm here today to talk about the fourth quarter game plan, because we have to move beyond 2020, but we also have to do it with power.
Man.
Yes, and yes. My gosh.
Listen, 2020 has been rough. Unemployment up way in the sky. Even those that still have their jobs, the hours have been shortened. They don't even know if their company's going to survive this thing. So a lot of people have a lot of trepidation about 2020 from a financial standpoint. If they weren't hit hard, they certainly know some people who have, whether friends, family, church community. They've seen the financial devastation all around. And so some people are, for lack of a better term, just like, I can't wait for this year to be over. I'm done with 2020. You know, you see that everywhere. But you're here to tell us that that is the wrong mentality, and that this year ain't over. And despite all the upheaval going on in the world, there's still plenty of things that we can do to position ourselves in a much better position than we may currently be. Even if you still got your job and things have been fine, your hours, your pay stayed the same, we need to do some intentional things to finish the year strong.
So, so basically, yes. So my question to you, Dr. Lynn, is why is this your favorite time of year?
You know, this is my favorite time of year. And I think there are a couple of things. One, anything that I've ever done that's been considered great or, noteworthy in terms of achievements when I was in corporate America and in my business life has always happened in the fourth quarter. Now, let me give you the corporate side of this. The corporate side of this is real. Corporations start planning for the new year in the fourth quarter. Last year, I became aware they were planning in the third quarter, and I was like, oh, they're not about to leave me. So I got all my colleagues, my business partners together. We came together for our fourth quarter planning. Everything that we planned in the fourth quarter, not only did it manifest, it literally blew up. I did not know at the time last year that during fourth quarter that I was preparing for the pandemic. I had no idea. I just felt this burning inside to exceed, to excel, to go beyond my comfort zone. I remember working for one company, and I got my investment licenses in September. I had to be in training for about 6 weeks. I didn't get to even work. I didn't get to start working until mid-November. That year, I became Rookie of the Year. In 6 weeks of working, from November to the end of December, the qualification period was a whole year. I became Rookie of the Year in 6 weeks. I hit the $1 Million Round Table in 6 weeks. I remember another company that I was working for, again, fourth quarter. They had done $3 million over a 3-year period. I did $36 million in my first 9 months. And so for me, fourth quarter has always been this time where it's your last breath, it's your last piece of energy, it's your last, you just give it all that you have. And what ends up happening when most people are still trying to figure out what they're going to do in the new year after January 2nd because they got drunk December 31st and they got a hangover on January 1st. So January 2nd, they start waking up and coming to and wiping their eyes. Let me tell you, people who are winning started that race back in October. So that's the corporate side. But let me tell you a little bit about the game side of it. You see, I am from Chicago, and I came up in the era of the repeating, back-to-back dominating Bulls. I came up in the era of Jordan and Pippen and Armstrong and Phil Jackson. And let me tell you something. There were times when the team was down in the third quarter. And you got to look at third quarter. You got to look at fourth quarter strategy. Fourth quarter strategy is all about the comeback. Fourth quarter strategy is all about this. My big brother Les Brown always says, if you can look up, you can get up. My other mentor says, you can't fail until you quit. And so if we take that mentality right now, I know 2020 came and hit everybody upside the head. I mean, it hit us all upside the head. I still won't go outside. I've been outside like 5 times since March. I am probably on the much more conservative side of the coronavirus. I think everybody should have on a mask, some gloves, some moon boots, and a hazmat suit. That's just kind of how I feel about it. But the truth is, we are all in our own way dealing with something, whether it be debt, whether it be depression, whether it be, just feeling like you are in bondage or what have you. And certainly there are those who've lost family members, and to God be the glory, rest their hearts and rest their souls. But the rest of us who are still here have work to do. And so in order to move beyond 2020, see, you can't quit right now. I have never seen anybody win the game who acted like they were quitting. Everybody who acted like they were quitting lost. And anything that stops growing starts dying. Look at a plant. Look at an animal. Look at a human. Look at any of us. If you stop growing, you start dying. So even if 2020 wasn't that bad, because of the situation we're in, because of what we're facing, we are all required to grow. So the first thing we want to do when we are looking at a new game plan, and we're going into fourth quarter, the first thing you have to do, because I remember some of those Bulls games, I'm like, what is going on with my team? They're looking down, they're looking out. They went on that break at the end of third quarter, and they came back fourth quarter, and it was like there was a whole new team. You see, that was a mindset change. So first you have to change your mindset. You have to decide that nothing is going to stop me. Nothing is going to block me. I'm not settling for less, because when you settle for less, you get even less than that. And you have to decide that you are going to win this thing, and you are going to win this thing strong. It all starts up here in the mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a woman thinketh, so is she. So if you think you're losing, that's exactly what will happen. But if you think you're winning, if you think you are gaining access, if you think your grind is going to pay off, it most definitely will. So the mindset really is the first thing that has to change. And while it's easy, let me tell you, the holidays are coming up. It's really easy for everybody to kind of start getting comfortable and, spending money on everything. Halloween, Black Thursday, Yellow Tuesday, Polka Dot Wednesday, Cyber Monday, and then the holidays come after that, and buying things to make ourselves feel good. But the truth is, if you're anything like me, I remember those days of using my last dime and next month's rent on Christmas presents. And then after Christmas, and the kids didn't even play with the toys. They were breaking the little brat head dolls were coming off, and this, that, and the other. And then after the holiday, I'm still stuck with those bills. I'm not meeting my goals. And so I want us to change our mindset. That is the first thing that I would say when it comes to winning this game and dealing with our fourth quarter strategy properly.
All right, so now
hope y'all taking notes.
That made me flash back now, because I'm a former high school football player, former high school football coach, and I remember specifically every fourth quarter there was a tradition. You held up 4 fingers. You didn't have to say nothing. You just held on. Everybody held up the 4 fingers, and we know that meant it didn't matter what happened in the first quarter, second quarter, or third quarter. We could be up 20, we could be down 20. It's game time. It's game time. The fourth quarter is here. So that goes back to your mentality. It's like, From a sports standpoint, all the greats became greats in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
You are not allowed in the greatness conversation if you don't have a history of showing up in the fourth quarter. So what you're saying is ridiculously important. We have to apply that same mentality to us in our personal situations. Yes, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter of 2020 may not have been scripted the way that we came into the year thinking that it would go. But now the fourth quarter is here, and it's up to us to be great. This year may not have looked, felt, seemed great up to this point. We have the ability to change that. We have the ability to move forward and make the rest of this year make up for everything that happened in quarters 1, 2, 3. So now that we got our mind right, you done fired us up.
Yeah. Get that mind right.
Do you want us to do next? What should we do after we start thinking properly?
Okay, so after you start thinking properly, you just make the decision that this is my time, this is my season. You know, when you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. When you have nothing to lose, you may as well just go for it. So after your mind is right and you're surrounding yourself with the right people, you want to get some new moves. You see, whatever they were doing first, second, and third quarter, the opposite team figured out what their moves were, and they were ready to come and block Jordan. Jordan's sitting on the bench. So you have to have some new moves. What did you do this year? When the pandemic hit, did you do what I did? I cried. Actually, I cried before the pandemic hit because I was just in this zone. And what I understand now is I was building Wealth University because people started really asking for more help and more one-on-one. And I had been on the Steve Harvey show for a whole season. And I had been on Home and Family and all these other shows and Access Hollywood. And it became very clear to me that my old moves were no longer going to work, that my career in entertainment, or so I thought, just was not going to do it anymore. Now, mind you, my career was going well, but there was a calling in my heart to help more people because I'd go on television and they'd still need financial help. And I'd tell them to go see their financial planner or their tax person, and there was no one to help them. So I had to create and pull out my old books and pull out my old lessons and build a curriculum. And I was crying because I didn't want to go back. Does anybody have that time where you don't want to go back? You think that you've made it so far forward, you don't want to look back at where you were? Because see, where you were, now you have wisdom. I didn't want to go back to the Lynn Richardson early in her career for a lot of reasons. One, that Lynn Richardson made a lot of money mistakes. So I was carrying that with me in a whole new decade. That Lynn Richardson was young and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And while she had some great accomplishments, you know, I've arrived. But the truth is, I had to come up with some new moves. I had to go back to the drawing board. And so when you are entering fourth quarter, you need to take a look at what you did first, second, and third, and you don't need to do that anymore. So have you been complaining the whole time? Have you been worrying the whole time? Have you been, for those who work at home, are you showing up to everything with your top and your underwear? Too lazy to put on a pair of pants. Too lazy to put on, and let me tell you, I've been there, done it. I've been on Zoom calls. I'm not showing my face, but let me tell you something. We need to show up for ourselves. We need to take the energy and the time and give ourselves the attention. Have you been trying to figure out what you were going to do in business, or you were trying to make an old business work that is not going to work? If your business was a facility or an entity that had people in it and you are now restricted because of social distance, now is the time to get some new moves. I was on with a lady who had a flower shop. The pandemic hit, no flowers, no money, nothing coming in. I said, ma'am, you are in the business of giving joy. You are in the business of making people smile. That's what flowers do. They either show joy, they show respect, they show peace, they show harmony. I said, there are other ways you can do that. Start an online business. Create some online things that you can have delivered. You are creative. And so she said, oh my goodness. And wow, her business blew up. What are the new moves? We've got to come up with some new moves. And let me tell you this. if you have been successful and if things have been going well, then you still need to create new moves, because what great companies know is you have to be ready before it's time to get ready. Because if you wait until it's time to get ready to make a shift, then it's too late. I've been saying forever, everybody get a home-based business. Everybody get a home-based business. I felt like Noah. He was telling folks it was going to rain. Nobody believed him. Everybody was laughing. And then guess what? The world was filled with water. That's what happened this year. But see, those who were moving before the pandemic came, those who were making the moves and making their businesses virtual or online or building multiple streams of income, then they were ready for when this big shift hit. So I'm going to say, after you get your mind in order, the next thing that you have to do is you have to make some new moves.
Wow.
Man.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
You are. Oh, we got a little feedback. Let me wait. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. All right. So you are encouraging us to make sure that we enter this fourth quarter not only thinking differently, but acting differently. Yeah. Even if, things have been okay.
Yeah.
Even if things have not been okay. Whatever we were doing, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, we need to be intentional about doing things differently in the fourth quarter, because the game is on the line. 2020 is on the line. Either we're going to end this year with hope. We're going to end this year with positive progress, or we're going to end this year with doubt and regression. But that choice, as you are instructing us here right now as a part of this game plan to execute a strong fourth quarter, is to think differently, step 1. And then step 2 is to act differently, to be intentional, because I think it's easy to fall into a pattern. Whatever you're used to doing, it's easy to keep on doing it because you're used to doing things one way. You don't even, sometimes we put ceilings on our own thinking. We limit our own selves by the things that we let pass through our brain cells.
And some of it is bad habits. It's a lot of it is bad habits. We have incorporated bad habits into our lives that we think is normal. And we actually think that they're good habits, but we actually need to go back and redo these bad habits and put them with good habits, right? So you talk about some of the moves. We need to be making moves.
Yeah, you have to, I say you have to undo. It takes a lot of undoing to undo the doing you have done. So you always have to be a little bit patient with yourself as well, because the change isn't going to happen overnight. But as you make the new moves, then you will start to see the new progress. The other thing that you have to do, once you change your mind and you start to make new moves and you start to do things differently, and I cannot stress enough how important it is to make new moves, because let me explain something to you. The rug can be pulled out from under you in an instant. So you always want to be innovating. You always want to think. You always want to understand what's happening. Are you studying the stock market? Do you know what your retirement plan is looking like? You want to start thinking in that area. People don't realize this, but there was a time, and this was right before the iPhone really blew up. Do you know Nokia and Motorola's advisors told them they had nothing to worry about? Nokia and Motorola. You don't even remember who they are, do you? They were so dominant for a season that they were told that the iPhone, it won't gain much market share. Out of here. It took Samsung to come in with a device that could even begin to compare. So look at all the things that have become extinct. We don't want to become extinct. So you are just as good as your last accomplishment, and you always want to be moving. And let me tell you, when you're making moves, the competition isn't with the world. The competition is with yourself. The competition is for you to go higher. If you're at a -1, get to a 0. If you're at a 1, get to a 3. If you're at a 3, get to a 10. Don't be a 2 and look at the folks who are at a 10. That's not your game, and that's not your battle. And that's not something that you need to be concerned with. You need to be concerned with you and only you, and then be patient with yourself, with your progress. So after you change your mind, after you change your moves, what's the next thing that happens in the fourth quarter? You know, there were some players in the fourth quarter, I remember, and I'm a basketball girl. As a matter of fact, let me just be honest. I am a Bulls of the 90s basketball girl, okay? I don't like no other sports. After the Bulls in the 90s, I'm done. No more sports. Yeah. But one of the things that would happen in the fourth quarter, there were some new players that didn't play before. So we all have to get some new members on our team. Is anybody driving you crazy? Is anybody draining you? Are there any toxic people around you? Well, maybe they don't have negative energy. Maybe they're seasonless and have no energy. Maybe you need to surround yourself with people who are going to inspire you. If you have 9 broke friends, you're going to be number 10. If you have 5 broke friends, you're going to be number 6. And it doesn't mean that we turn our nose up. It simply means, yes, stay connected to who you love, but make decisions about the people you are going to spend your time with. When I want to understand investing, I hang around people who understand that language. When I want to understand building global businesses, I hang around people who understand that language. When I want to understand parenting or kids going to college, whatever it is, get some new members on your team. Is there an old business partner that you need to reach out to? Is there someone? And let me tell you something. Be quick to forgive. Forgive fast. Agree with God quickly. Do not hold grudges. Whatever happened last year, 2 years ago, let me tell y'all something. There are some things in life that happen that make you really, really appreciative just to have breath in your body and strength. So if there was something that happened, if they did it to you, forgive them. If you did it to them, forgive yourself and then ask for forgiveness. Continue to move forward and put new members on your team. Don't be afraid to hire people smarter than you. This is so important. Do not be afraid to hire people smarter than you. Do not be afraid to surround yourself by people who have more talent, more access, more resources, or whatever. Bring your energy to the table. Bring your game to the table. But in the fourth quarter, you're going to need to get some new team members. Who's your financial coach? Who's your tax professional? Who's your life coach? Who's helping you build your business? Who are your employees? And get rid of this thing where we don't want to let go of old relationships because we feel sorry or we feel, you feel guilty. Guilt does not get you great. Let me repeat. Guilt does not get you great. Guilt holds you in a trap that God did not intend for you. So truly, when you make a decision and you undo all the doing that you've done and you make a decision and say, hey, I'm not going to have this person on my team anymore. I'm going to approach that person with dignity and with respect. And I'm going to say, listen, it's time for us to part ways in whatever it is. It could be a business relationship. It could be a significant other or whatever. In many cases, you are now giving that person permission to grow. I've made the mistake of keeping employees and keeping people on the team longer than they were supposed to be. Me because I felt bad, them because they felt loyal. And the truth is, sometimes it's just time to go. There is a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So understand that about the people on your team and be willing to get some new members.
Wow. That was good.
We're just pausing for feedback, guys. All right. So, now you done hooked us up. You done told us about having a new mindset. You told us about getting new actions, and you just told us to get some new friends.
You need to get a new team. Like, get your crew together.
Team. I love this because people don't factor people into their financial plan. They don't realize that if you, like you just said, if you're surrounded by a bunch of people who think negatively, who have no strategy for upward progress, who have no focus on upward mobility, who don't even think that they can have better because of this, that, and the other, then you're going to fall in line with that train of thought if that's all that's in your world. Mm-hmm. And so it's important. And I think that what's beautiful about the internet is that the gatekeepers are gone. So maybe there's nobody on your block in your family tree that is on the same path mentally, financially that you're trying to be on. But man, look at the World Wide Web. We now have access to people like you who can help us. If there's nobody around us that can help us, we're without excuse because of the advent of the internet. And we got people who have done amazing things in their personal life, like you have, who are now bringing that knowledge back home. Even though you was crying to come back and help us, you had tears in your eyes and you ain't want to come back. We glad that you came back, Dr. Lynn, and that now you are here to help people. And you talked about the fact that we got to do things differently. And a lot of people may have had ideas that they need to have a business or multiple streams of income, especially what has happened in this world. But for some, it's super intimidating to think, who, me? How am I going to start a business? What I know about being an entrepreneur. But
everyone should have a business.
True. Everybody. So can you tell us why you feel that way? And then 2, talk about what you have to help people grow in this area that you offer.
Well, this is probably, all of it is worthy and all of it is necessary. The new mindset, the new moves, the new members on your team. But now it's time for you to make new money memories. You see, money has this place in our lives. For most of us, we have a up and down relationship with it. It was like me. I was always in a feast or famine syndrome. I'd have a whole lot of money and then I'd have no money. Like, it was just always one extreme or the other. And it was usually me being at the bottom end of that extreme. And, I just have to say this. Has anybody ever prayed for God to get you out of a situation? I know I have. Have you ever prayed, God, get me out of this? Get me out of this situation. And then God gets you out of the situation. And you promise to never get back in that situation again. And guess what happens? You end up right back in the same situation again. Right back in the same situation. So, true story. We are right at the cusp of where we were with the Great Recession 12 years ago. Great Recession 12 years ago, I lost everything. The stock market crashed. My 401k went down the hole. I was not as savvy as I am right now with investing. So I took the little bit of money that was left and tried to live off of it. I thought things were going to turn around. They did not. I went through that money very quickly. I ended up filing bankruptcy. The real estate market crashed. So my house was upside down. So I spent 4 or 5 years in a modification, foreclosure, ended up getting the cash for keys and so on and so forth. Make new memories with your money. When I had nothing, I had everything. That's when I found peace. You see, anybody can learn how not to spend money when they have none. But when you have a little bit of something, can you exercise the discipline? Or do you go to the grocery store for toothpaste and walk out with $179.47 worth of stuff you don't need, talking about it was on sale? That was not on sale for you, okay? We want to end our spending addiction. We want to end our attachment to the things that we think money will do for us and to the things that we think when we use money for it, it's going to make us better. Do you have material illness? You see, material illness is what you have when a material thing's presence gives you pleasure and its absence gives you pain. Let me take my Lexus, my beautiful Lexus that I put in the bankruptcy 12 years ago. I love the car. Cream, gold trim, leather cream seats. It was my car. When I drove up to places, I knew people looking at me and I was looking at myself. I felt good in that car. But let me tell you what I learned for the first time in my life. First of all, I learned not to be attached to things and to be much more attached to principle, to make new memories with my money. So when I filed bankruptcy, I had a choice. Do you keep the car that is overpriced and the interest rate is too high, or do you give the car back and put it in the bankruptcy too? I gave the car back. I drove my 1998 Toyota. The driver's door didn't work. I had to climb in on the passenger side to get over to the driver's side. And if my husband had that car, then I had to get in the old beat up BMW, no air, nothing was powered. I had to roll up the windows like this. That's the car I drove. And let me tell you something. I didn't feel any different. I felt no different driving the Lexus versus the old beat up BMW. That's when you know you're cured. That's when you know you're getting better. That's when you know you're making new money memories. You see, I used to give money to people when I was broke, so they wouldn't think I was broke, which I was. I was trying to keep up with an image. I want you to create new money memories. When you get rid of material illness, you get your power back. As long as a material thing controls how you feel, then the material things have the power, and you want to take all of your power back. So you get your energy back, you get your power back, you create new money memories by honoring the laws of mathematics. And they are simply this: 1 + 1 = 2. And let me tell you something. Every one of us has a test to pass. We have the test to pass. What do you do when you have more than enough money? And what do you do when you don't have enough money? When you don't have enough money, do you get angry? Are you irritated? Are you fussing? Are you complaining at your spouse, your kids? Do you feel less than? You see, that's not passing the test. When you don't have enough money, can you give God glory anyway? Can you keep your grind going anyway? Can you keep your mind on moves and new members of your team so that you can win in beyond 2020? See, that's passing the test. And when you have more than enough money, see, there's a test to pass there too. Because when I didn't have enough money, I was always looking for more money. And before I would get the money would be spent. But let me tell you something I know about wealthy people. Wealthy people know how to keep their money. I can go out and buy anything I want to buy. I want a brand new Cadillac so bad. The car looks so nice. But guess what? My 2005 Mercedes drives just fine. It only has about 110, 112,000 miles on it. It doesn't have all the fancy new GPS, but at least it has power windows, and the car is still in good condition. I don't need another one. Make new money memories. Break the curse. Find out where you picked up bad money habits. And don't blame the person or don't blame the situation. Identify it so that you can have your power and move on. The Bible says that plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. And you cannot fix what you will not face. So face it. Let me tell you, I realized when my adult problems started. My adult money problems. Remember I said I was in college getting a bunch of credit cards? I was getting a lot of credit cards so I could buy clothing. Because when I grew up, I always had nice clothing. I wore Jordache, Vidal Sassoon, Gloria Vanderbilt. Y'all know what I'm talking about from back in the day. I always had on designer clothes, nice shoes. So when I got off to college with very little money, I had to keep up that image by any means necessary. Are you addicted to spending? Do you spend for pleasure? There are people right now in the middle of a pandemic who go nowhere and are overspending online. I want you to pull that back. When you are going to do something that goes against your future, I want you to have the courage and the faith and the wisdom to say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to join the 21 Days to Financial Freedom. I'm going to get the Freedom Package. I'm going to join the Entrepreneurs Academy. I'm going to learn how to spend less money than I have so that I can make new memories for myself, for my family. So when we move beyond 2020, we'll have some money with us. Yes.
I think we're okay. No, we're not.
You have to pause a little bit.
We always got to pause for this feedback
for
some reason.
There we go. So those titles that Dr. Lynn just mentioned, the 21 Days to Financial Freedom, the Entrepreneurship Academy, all of that can be found at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school. If you guys want Lynn to teach you what she knows and mentor you, definitely go there and check out her resources. They are phenomenal. We are also a part of them as well too. If you guys are enjoying, a lot of you all are enjoying her great nuggets. This is what I needed. Somebody said, I'm ready to join. Yes, definitely go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school to learn more.
Now, Dr. Lynn, you got a lot of products there now, particularly for what you're telling us to do now with this fourth quarter. Can you say again which of those products you think people should focus in on when they go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school?
So yes, at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, this is what you're going to find. First of all, you're going to find probably the very first opportunity, or one of the first opportunities that many people have encountered in this way, to get a financial education. There is no other way. If there was another way, I would have figured it out. Now, let me tell you how off and crazy I am. I have a degree in finance, math, and economics from one of the world's greatest academic institutions, and I was still broke. Because you don't get a financial education with an academic education. Do you know how many young people are graduating from college with mortgages, i.e. student loans, because of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $200,000 student loans. That's a mortgage for a house, but they don't have the real estate to match it. So at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, if you want to start off slow, you start with the freedom package, the 21 days to financial freedom. I'm walking with you daily. It's daily online coaching. I have people graduating every day. Their lives are changed. Thank you, Dr. Lynn. I had the courage to speak to my spouse for the first time. I had the courage to speak to my children. I'm learning how to say no. I'm ending my spending addiction. I'm putting my money in the right places. In addition to that, you also get how to start a home-based business. You get all of this daily coaching, a webinar, how to start a home-based business, live Q&A, 2 books for about $50. Can't beat that. If you know you are ready to really start running the race in this 4th quarter, so you can get beyond 2020 and enter next year extremely far ahead, then you want to do the Entrepreneurs Academy. In the Entrepreneurs Academy, we have courses on everything from how to invest in the stock market, how to make your money grow, how to build business credit, end your battle with money for good, 21 days to financial freedom, how to stop living check to Monday and build multiple streams of income. We've got business finance 101, how to protect your business, how to bounce back from bankruptcy and build wealth. Because I've practiced in every single financial area, from financial aid to mortgages, real estate. I still have my real estate license, insurance, investments. I've been a tax coach for over 12 years. I learned everything that I know from Sandy Botkin. He used to train the IRS agents, and now he trains self-employed business people like you and I how to understand the tax code and live our lives like business. There are free books. I mean, there's so many things that are available in the Entrepreneurs Academy. It is literally like going to financial college, and it's very inexpensive. And then there's monthly coaching and so on and so forth. So we have rolled out, since I've talked to you, Talat and Ty, we've rolled out like 12, 13, 14 more courses, and we're rolling out another dozen courses or so every single month. We have a speaker training. I've got those who want to start their speaking career. We've got a financial coaches boot camp, those who want to become a master financial coach and do what I do. Because see, I am not intimidated. I had a lady on the webinar today. She said, Lynn, can this be in Spanish? She said, I want to teach people how to build wealth, but there's a language barrier. I said, why don't you join? Why don't you learn from me? I teach you, and then you can take my spot for the Spanish, community, for the Spanish speaking community. So this really is about not only getting new team members, but uplifting the current team members. So there's a lot of stuff. There's the ability to change your mind, to get new moves, to get new members on your team, and then of course to make new money memories, all at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school.
Yeah. Everything that Dr. Lynn is sharing is 100% accurate.
I don't know if you guys can hear the feedback. So if you all see us making odd looks and faces, that's why.
We are students ourselves. We can vouch for everything that she's saying. It's like literally every week she's coming with content. If you're a student, especially if you go to the Entrepreneurs Academy, I think it's on the 2nd row. If you go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, it's just so much that you learn. And this is something like we've been studying personal finance for years, and we're still learning new things from Dr. Lynn. And that's why we bring you these voices. And super shout out to Andre Hatchett showing us some love in the super chat. He's another brilliant voice that we have brought to you guys. And when we bring you guys these voices, we only bring you the best. We are trying to help. We are trying to serve the community. And so the fact that you heard just like maybe 2% of Dr. Lynn's resume, her resume long, okay, and full of good stuff.
That's why somebody said, we eat up $50. Thank you. You're absolutely right. So instead of eating up $50, take your $50, go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school and invest in your future, invest in your 4th quarter. Everybody's saying Lynn is the truth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's time to grow. Yes, it is time for you to grow. Go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, and you guys can learn from Lynn as well.
We highly suggest it.
Yeah. And I want to say this. So for those who are in the Entrepreneurs Academy, there's a free advanced home-based business boot camp this weekend. And I'm really helping people to stack their lives around their business, because the whole idea about getting money back on your taxes. You can hire your kids to work in your business. You can pay each child up to $12,400 a year. Now that money is a tax write-off to you. You're going to get it back. So if you were already getting a refund, you're going to get more money. And if you owe taxes, then you're going to owe less money or potentially get a refund back. When you travel for business, it's a tax write-off. When you drive your car for business, it's a tax write-off. But you actually have to learn the rules of the game. You can't just start doing stuff because that's how people get in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble. You want to learn the rules of the game, and then you want to play the game by the rules. And the way we teach at Wealth University is I teach in this manner. If I give you a fish, you're going to eat for a day. But if I teach you how to fish, then you're going to eat for a lifetime. And so my goal, honestly, and I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but my goal is to make my students independent of me. I don't want you to be dependent on me for the rest of your life. I want you to get this for yourself. Now it'll take you about a year and a half, maybe even 2, to get through all of the curriculum. And then who knows, you may still stay in it, because I've been studying with my mentor for 12 years. Why? Because things change. Why? Because times change. Why? Because, again, you got to keep making new moves and developing new members of your team in order to get to the next level. We have how to be a real estate investor, how to write a book, road to home ownership for those who are trying to buy a home. One of our beautiful clients, she got denied for a mortgage. She reached out to me. She's a member of the Entrepreneurs Academy. I emailed her a couple things. I said, send me your papers. I called the mortgage company. She closed in about a week. So it's those kinds of hands-on things that we're doing as well. And then there's this just wonderful community of people who are looking out for each other, praying for each other. And for those, if you have trouble getting someplace, email the office. We will get back to you. So this is really about a new strategy, fourth quarter, beyond 2020, getting all that you can to live the life that you see for yourself and your family.
Absolutely. All right. Dr. Lynn, I saw someone mention, will you personally be their personal mentor at one of your classes here at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school? I believe it's the Entrepreneurs Academy that you kind of.
I teach about 85% of the classes. I have some other wonderful instructors who teach in some specialty areas where there's legal assistance and things like that. But I am the one on the webinars. I am the one answering the questions. I am the one in the master class once a month. I am the one on Tax Talk Thursday, where we get together and they just throw out tax questions. Did you know that if you have out-of-pocket medical expenses, you can set up a healthcare reimbursement account? You hire your spouse, then your spouse covers the entire family. So those doctor's visits, the mileage to and from the doctor, those prescriptions, those braces for your children. I had 3 children with braces. Oh my God, you can go bankrupt but just getting braces. So we talk about things like that on Tax Talk Thursday. I'm there. And so, yes, I'm present. I'm available. Some of the classes are self-paced. Other classes require me to grade your exam. I grade tests. Absolutely, I do. And it's so funny because sometimes they don't pass. They fail. And they're like, oh, my God, I failed. Yeah, because I'm going to hold you accountable. This is not just about, you doing something and then you just going. No, when you're done with Wealth University, you're going to be better. So I pretty much elect myself the CEO auntie of everybody's life. And we have a great time. It's really a great time.
All right. So again, the products that you want to take a look at when you go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, it really depends on your situation, where you're at, what you're trying to learn. But the 3 you probably want to hone in on is the 21 Days to Financial Freedom, the Freedom Package, or if you're ready to go all in, we highly suggest the Entrepreneurs Academy.
Highly suggest.
Those are the 3 products. When you go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, you'll see a bunch of different products, but those are the 3 that we want you guys to focus in on to have a strong fourth quarter.
And in the Entrepreneurs Academy, don't they get access to the 21 day and the other, right?
Yeah. There are so many classes in the Entrepreneurs Academy that we actually had to create a course roadmap. When you go to college and you want to get a degree and you need 50 classes and you have to know what to take first, second, and third. So yes, so we everyone starts out with 21 Days to Financial Freedom and how to start a home-based business. Those are the 2 basic cornerstones of anything that you need to do. And sometimes people are a little more advanced, but I say if you're advanced, then prove it. Just get through the 21 days. Maybe there's one little nugget. I learned to stop being so smart and thinking I was so smart. It took a while when I had kept making dumb decisions, but I found myself in places where, oh, I already know that. Oh, I don't need to learn that. But I'd sit there anyway. That's when I started to win, because I'd get that one little nugget that I didn't have, and it would complete that cycle and allow me to pass that test and go to the next grade. So everybody starts out with the 21 days to financial freedom, how to start a home-based business. They move into building multiple streams of income, the Master Achievement Plan, which is creating your blueprint for your life and your business. I used to do the Master Achievement Plan with big corporations. As a matter of fact, a big corporation saw me on Fox Business a couple of weeks ago, right after I was on Good Morning America, and asked me to come to teach their whole company some of the strategies and things that I'm teaching my students in Wealth University at hisandhermoney.com/wealth school. So it's a plethora of opportunities. And, I'm just excited. And what I really want, most, I want people to become free so they can set other people free.
Yes.
That's why I got my money straight. Yeah.
This is into my.
I think this has to be
this feedback is crazy. Yeah, because we're live. Final question. Someone put, and I would love to hear your heart on it. It says, can someone like me on disability and being a single mom of two, one with autism, succeed? Please advise. Thank you.
Let me say this. Anybody can win. You have to put your mind to it. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you I'm going to be here. I'm not telling you you're not going to have any roadblocks, but I can tell you I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to tell you the minute you start. Have you ever been in a situation? The minute you start trying to get stuff in order, everything happens. Like the roof caves in, the people come, want to get stuff, this, that, and the other. It's almost like the minute because you know why? Because that's your Achilles heel. Everybody has an Achilles heel. In the movie Troy, which came from the book of the Trojan War, there was a fierce warrior named Achilles. And long story short, his mother was a Greek goddess, and she dipped him in the water when he was born. So his whole entire body was immune basically to death, except the part where she was holding his heel. And so at the end of the movie, while he's saving the city and killing all the warriors like David and Goliath, somebody hits him with a bow and arrow right in that heel, and he died. He's in big battles, slaying people, and all it took was something very small. So what I want to say to you is this. It's not the big stuff that's going to take you out. It's something small that's going to take you out, if you let it. So that's why you have to make a decision, not just moving beyond 2020, but in your life, to change your mind, to get new moves, to get new members on your team, and to create new money memories. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if it's Social Security, public assistance. I remember being on food stamps and being afraid to get off. I remember, because I was thinking, well, as long as I have my food stamps, then my family can eat. And then as things started to turn around for me, and I knew I was going to have to report my income, I was worried. But then I was like, I got to go. I got to go. You have to go. So don't be unwise. Make good decisions. You need to keep a roof over your head. But with everything, like I said, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. So there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And where there are new ideas, where there are new moments and new members, then you get to create new money memories. So yeah, I would say to anybody.
We agree. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have been given a blueprint, steps to take in order to have a strong fourth quarter. 2020 is not over. You have time to make this a fantastic year. It's going to require, as Dr. Lynn has laid out for us, a bunch of newness, new thoughts, new actions,
new habits,
and probably a new circle as well. And we also have mentioned over and over again that you now have access to Dr. Lynn Richardson to help you walk through this journey. You can go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school to sign up for her courses. In particular, you probably want to look at the Entrepreneurs Academy. If you go to hisandhermoney.com/wealth school, it's the first item on the second row. We can personally attest to how powerfully explosive it is, and how thorough and how thorough the education is. You guys have access. The internet has changed the game. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do all this from home. You can grow, you can develop yourself, and you can become a financial rock star from the comfort of your home. You can become an entrepreneur from the comfort of your home. The internet has changed everything. You just need the right people leading the way, like Dr. Lynn. You have to do the work. She told you, if you don't pass a test, you're gonna get a fail.
You're gonna fail.
You gotta pass all the tests.
And you are happy
so that you can get this done.
I just want to give one correction. When you were saying second row, first one, you're looking on desktop, but on your cell phone, if you're looking on your phone mobile app, it's not in that order. So don't necessarily take our word, of the location. Just make sure that you look for the titles. Each one of her courses, they have titles on them. Look for Entrepreneurs Academy. And you'll be on your way.
Yep. All right. Take your time, scroll through, get in the game. I'm here in the game with you. And I forgot to tell you the most important thing that members of the Entrepreneurs Academy get. They get my number, so they text me. So I get text messages. But you know what? I've always been that way because I trust God enough to send the right people. They don't abuse it. But, when it's birthdays or it's a quick question and so on and so forth. So, yes, you get my LA 310 number. It's not a code message, none of that stuff. And my Entrepreneurs Academy members have direct access to me, especially for emergencies and things like that.
That's awesome.
All right. We can't say thank you enough for coming back and helping us get ready to end this year strong.
Any closing remarks, Lynn, on how everyone can finish this year out strong?
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe what's possible. Do not give up on what you see. If you see a financially free you, I would have to say that the number one thing that I hear consistently over and over again during the first few days when people start to get their money straight is they're asking themselves, can I do it? Yes, you can. I know you've tried many times before. I know you've made the commitment before. I know you've said, I'm going to get it right this time, and then you don't. You can do it. And I honestly think that the hand holding, because it works. It's worked for thousands, millions of people at this point across the globe. So it's not just local. It's not just urban. It's not just one color. It's human and it's people. And we are all the same. I don't care if you're the CEO or if you clean the house or if you're the babysitter or you sweep the street. At the end of the day, we are all the same. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm going to help you through it.
There it is. Now you know you can do it because Dr. Lynn just told you that you can do it.
Oh, it's not too late.
So don't get in your own way.
Yeah, no, if I can do it, anybody can. Let me tell you, I was the worst thing they had out when it came to money. It wasn't, let me tell you, off and crazy. Anybody who makes $80,000 a month and still broke. Anybody, I wasn't living from check to Monday. I was living from check to 2:00.
True. She's telling the truth.
Check to yesterday. Before I got paid, I was broke, and after I got paid, I never saw a difference. There were times when the bank account it was under it. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. I'm telling the truth.
All right, y'all. Let's get to work.
Get to work.
Let's finish 2020 strong. And until next time, guys.
Definitely. No matter what point you're coming in, even if you're watching this all the way to the very end, it's not too late to hit that share button. Let other people hear what Lynn has to say. If you love other people and you want them to end their 4th quarter strong, then make sure you share.
Yes. Yes. That's the name of the game. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. God bless you all.